Welcome, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. It's your only friend, these YouTube streets, PlayStation77, and I'm back with another video. All right, Xbox gamers, you're looking spooky out here. All right, y'all showing. Well, I ain't gonna show him, but you're revalidating all the things I've been saying, that you guys are way too intertwined emotionally to the console, or to the plastic box, to Xbox, to Microsoft, to all this stuff. All right, now let's break this down. Yes, you have lots of fanboys talking trash about Starfield. Yes, that is happening. Yes, Starfield's getting review bombed. Yes, there are content creator talking shit, grifting, using outrage and a lot of negativity to chase clout, gain attraction, make money, hit the algorithm, all that stuff. Yes, that is absolutely happening. Welcome to a normal Tuesday for a PlayStation first party. All that nonsense has been done repeatedly over and over and over and over, okay? And there's nothing you can do about it, okay? Even when you try to take steps to negate or to mitigate some of the nonsense, for example, after a while, PlayStation gamers, in preparation for Ragnarok, gamers started using specific tools. Let's say, for example, on Twitter, they used the mute option. They were muting words like Odin, God, war, variations of Odin, like with the zero, with exclamation point, all that stuff, to mitigate the potential of them seeing a spoiler for God of War Ragnarok. But with as much mitigation and tools that PlayStation gamers attempted to use to prevent Xbox fanboys from spoiling the game, it still got spoiled because, again, fanboys found a way to circumvent the system. How? Well, while the mute function, the muted words function, did work for posts and tweets and replies, blocking all that, muting all that, what the function does not mute is the Twitter handle, meaning when you create an account and you pick a name, it doesn't block that. In order to block an account, you have to directly mute the account or block the account. So these Xbox fanboys was literally creating accounts called Odin Killed Thor. And the crazy part is they don't even have to say a word. They just have to reply anything, anywhere, and boom, instant spoiler. That's all it is. That's all you literally have to do. The only true answer to prevent the game being spoiled, you literally have to be off the internet, off social media. You have to go dark until you start playing the game. And then after you play the game and you beat it, then you can go back. That's literally the only answer. The point what I'm trying to say is, it's been there, done that, right? But the thing about it with you guys, the reason why you Xbox gamers feel like it's different for you guys, as if you are facing a unique thing that other gamers haven't felt. Like, oh, Starfield has rattled gamers like never before. I never seen anything like it. No. Don't go with that nonsense. It's the same nonsense that every other game went through. Hell, I would say The Last of Us 2 was probably the worst out of all games, because it went beyond just simply trash talking about the game. People really went into politics. People were attacking, talking trash about transgender issues. It became personal. I was like, all right, this is ugly. Starfield has the pronoun thing, so it was cheating there, so I'll give it that, right? But The Last of Us 2 was downright ugly, right? What was going on, right? So you're not experiencing anything. But the reason why it feels different for you, and it feels like it's the worst thing in gaming, the reason why you feel Starfield has brought out the very worst in everybody, is not because that it actually did. It's because you're trying to find an excuse for the one thing you won't admit. And the one thing many of you will simply not admit is that Starfield didn't meet the expectation you set before it came out. Just admit it. You guys simply didn't want a good game. And yes, Starfield generally is a good game overall. Obviously, it's going to go, individual taste. Just like Horizon Forbidden West is a good game. But some people find it boring. Some people don't like it. But overall, a 85 Metacritic is generally a good score. The game is generally being received well. And I, probably one of the few PlayStation gamers, right, understand when you guys talk about the Bethesda magic. And I explained it on my podcast. There's this certain thing that Bethesda does with this RPG, which is amazing, right? And yes, you're going to have to ignore a lot of faults if you want that RPG magic, because no one else delivers that. Okay, now I wouldn't go as far as some of you goes, because some of you guys are just straight damage controlling on things that shouldn't be damage control. No gamer should be damage controlling the fact that this game does not have a 60 FPS performance options. Every gamer should be demanding Microsoft to provide options for 60 FPS performance, 60 frame performance mode in every version of their first party game if it doesn't natively provide 60 frames from the default stance. Don't know why you guys ain't pushing that, especially you guys have been the biggest advocates of power, the biggest advocates of performance, the biggest advocates of full RDNA with the full suite of RDNA 2.0 features. You guys have been the biggest advocates for that, yet you hold Microsoft the least. You uphold them the least to that standard. Weird. Overall, the game didn't meet your expectation. And your expectation was game of the gen. Your expectation for many of you was that you wanted this game when it released to be the de facto game everybody said they gotta play, and everybody says this is a must-have game of the generation. That is what you wanted. You simply didn't want a game that was good. That, hey, this is a really good game, play it. You didn't want that. You want the same feeling PlayStation gamers get when they see an award show and the developers win the award and they hoist up that Game of the Year trophy. Like when The Last of Us 2 won. When God of War 2018 won. When The Last of Us 1 won. That is what you want to see. When Uncharted 4 won. You want to see a game sweep all the Game of the Year awards. You want to see articles that say, Starfield is the #1 Game of the Year awarded of 2023. Starfield wins the AIAS Award. Starfield wins GameSpot Game of the Year Award. Starfield won Game of the Year here, over there. Hey, Starfield so far has won 75 Game of the Year titles, 180, 90, 100. Starfield broke the record for the most awarded Game of the Year titles. You want to see things like that. You want to see that consistent flow of Game of the Year stuff. You want to have that conversation that one of the most played one of the most needed games that you have to get is Starfield. That's what you want. And the reason why you wanted that, because the stakes are higher. Because this game now is associated to Xbox. And that you want that publisher. You want Xbox Game Studios as a publisher to be part of the top tier studios out there. And right now, Xbox Game Studio is not up there at all. At all. If people were to name the top 3 publishers in the industry, damn well Xbox Game Studios would nowhere be near that list. Probably not even top 5. Maybe top 10, maybe. And that's only because, how many great publishers are out there. Right? You knew this game was important, that it had to be a 90+ Metacritic, absolute Game of the Year banger, because this will start the train of bangers that Xbox Game Studios had. And it didn't do it. But that's not the same as saying it's not a good game. Hell, you might even teeter and say it's a great game. But it is not the expectation some of you set. Some of you set a very hard bar. And the reason why you set it, because you looked in the past. The past Bethesda games, they were Game of the Year titles. They were the big blockbuster games of their day. Skyrim swept awards all across the board. And you wanted that. You were hoping Starfield would achieve that. But it didn't. And you know what? That's okay. Because in the end, that's really just console war ammunition for shit talking. But if you really emotionally wanted this game to be that game, you might want to reevaluate yourself. Right? You shouldn't be that in tune to the company. You know, if the company created a Game of the Year level title, good on them. And if you're enjoying it and that's your favorite brand, got it. That's great. That's fantastic. Enjoy it. Enjoy the award shows, you know, and all that stuff. But if they fail to meet that expectation, don't be going out to social media and podcasting and doing all this weird stuff, coddling each other's emotions, trying to rationalize and trying to blame other things for the simple fact that your expectation wasn't met because you created this super high expectation and the game nowhere near achieved that. Don't be looking for excuses or whatever. Don't be creating weird narratives. Oh, the media is Sony biased. Come on. The game simply didn't meet that super hype you set. And leave it at that. And move on. The game ended up being a good game. And that's okay. Enjoy the good game. And just like any good game, you're going to have people that enjoy it. You're going to have people that think it's their personal game of the year. That's okay too. I personally felt, for me, Returnal was my game of the year of 2021. But it was nowhere near that for most outlets, for most review sites. Definitely not for, you know, the Game Awards show. It just didn't make it. Returnal being 2021's game of the year is just a personal thing for me. That is all. It has no weight across the board. But guess what? That's okay. That's absolutely fine. Starfield's a good game. And if you love it, that's it. But don't do no weird stuff. Going on Twitter, telling people, hey, if you don't like Starfield, you're playing it wrong. You need to play like this. And then do this. And then when you do that, after 30, 40 hours, you'll love it. No, don't do that. Listen, if people don't like it after 5 hours, let them be. They go on Twitter and say, hey, I'm not feeling this game. I'm done with it. You ain't got to go in the timeline and tell them they're wrong. People cannot be wrong with their opinion. It's their opinion, their money, their time. Don't worry about it. You like it, you're good. Other people don't like it, they're good. It is what it is. But do not hold other people responsible or blame other people or just come up with some weird narrative for the simple fact that the game did not achieve the expectation you set. Just simply say, hey, this game is great, but it didn't really hit the game of the gen level of content or quality type game or expectation that I thought the game would have done. But overall, it's a good game. You can enjoy it. Move on. On to the next game. And that's it. Just deal with the reality. You'll be okay. This is your only friend, these YouTube streets, PlayStation77. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments section if you were one of those gamers that expected this game to be game of the gen, not just personally, but for the industry to recognize is game of the gen. And let me know in what way it failed you for meeting that expectation. See you guys Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. 60 Frames No Like Podcast. You take care. Peace.